Uh, Hello, dear children. Now, in this video, we will discuss the basic concepts of economics. Okay, so this chapter will be divided into three lecture videos. Okay, so this is the first lecture video. So let's start with the first topic, that is human wants. Okay, now want is a desire that can be achieved by affordable effort, or you can say that want is a desire that is backed by the ability to purchase. Okay, normally we use the term want. Okay, we say I want to go to my friend's place. Okay, I want to play a game, I want to study. Okay, I want to eat something, I want to go out. So we use the term want whenever we uh, demand for something. Okay, whenever we want to get that something. Okay, whenever we want to fulfill our wish. Okay, we use this term want. Okay, but in economics, this fulfillment of our desire, this fulfillment of our satisfaction through economic means, that is by paying some amount of money, is known as human wants. Okay, so want has two aspects, that is desire and the effort. Okay, that is your purchase ability. Okay, you should have the purchase ability. Okay, so uh, want is a desire that can be achieved by affordable effort. Okay, by affordable price. Okay, or you can say that want is a desire that is backed by an ability to pay. Okay, normally in higher classes we call this want as demand. Okay, in class 10 you will study this. Okay, so as we already discussed that want has two aspects. Okay, one is desire and the other one is purchase ability. Okay, so if you only have a desire, okay, for example, you want to purchase a video game, okay, or some kind of games that you want, or maybe nice dress, okay, you want to purchase, so you don't have the money to buy that product. Okay, but you have that desire. Okay, that feeling. Okay, that emotion. Okay, that psychological feeling. Okay, so uh, that only remains a desire. Okay, but when that desire can be fulfilled with the help of money, then it is termed as want. Okay, so we can say that all wants are desires. Okay, all the wants are desires after all, because you desire for something and you pay the amount of money. Okay, then it becomes want. Okay, but all the desires are not wants. Okay, because whatever we desire, it cannot be fulfilled, isn't it? uh, for example, you may want to purchase a new mobile phone, you want to purchase a new bike, new car, new house, new dress, new whatever you want to purchase. Okay, but you cannot purchase everything, isn't it? So all the desires are not wants, but remember that all the wants are desires. Okay, so this is the first concept. Now the second topic, that is the features or the characteristics of human wants. Okay, now number one, wants are unlimited. Yes, it is true. Okay, because human wants, they never get satisfied. Okay, so they keep on multiplying. Okay, one after the other. For example, if you want a mobile phone, okay, let's say you want a mobile phone. So now tomorrow you want a nice earpiece. Okay, and nowadays it's called earbuds. Okay, headphones. Okay, then after that you want to purchase a new type of mobile phone. Okay, new brand mobile phone. Okay, with new latest features. Okay, then you will go for the other products. Okay, so hence we can say that wants are unlimited. Okay, and you can see the same type of repetition out here in point number 7 also. You can say that once they multiply. Okay, and once also recur. So I will come to this part, but remember that this point number 1, point number 7 and 8, they are closely related to each other. Okay, so we can say that ultimately wants are unlimited. Okay, one after the other, your wants keep on multiplying. Okay, every day your wants are different. Okay, now all wants cannot be satisfied simultaneously. And the first chapter we had discussed about the definition of economics. Okay, particularly scarcity oriented definition of economics. Okay, out there we saw that the resources, okay, they are limited in nature. Okay, so similarly the income of a person is also limited. Okay, so with a limited income a person cannot purchase everything. For example, let's say there is a person, okay, with a limited income of only 10,000 rupees per month. Okay, so with that limited income he can afford to purchase whatever he is earning. Okay, he cannot purchase to buy uh, more costlier items. Okay, for example, if he wants to spend rupees 5,000 in food items, okay, 3,000 uh, for clothings and 2,000 for miscellaneous other limited items, okay, like traveling, like entertainment, etc., etc. Okay, so let's assume that a person is spending 100% of his income. Okay, so with that limited income he cannot afford to buy other items. Okay, maybe his friends, okay, they want to go to a new place. Okay, and the extra money that he needs is, let's say, 4,000. Okay, but his income 10,000 is already is distributed in these three items. Okay, number one, food, 5,000. Okay, number two, uh, clothings, okay, 3,000, and 2,000 other miscellaneous items. Okay, so extra money is not with him, hence that all the wants cannot be satisfied simultaneously. Okay, for example, let me take your example only. If you want to purchase uh, shoes, okay, nice dress, mobile phone, car or bike, okay, nice house, okay, and other luxurious items. If you want to purchase all things at once, you should have unlimited amount of money, isn't it? So in our society, okay, in our middle class level society or upper middle class society, uh, we have limited source of income. Okay, so with that limited income we cannot satisfy all the wants simultaneously. Simultaneously means all the wants at once. Okay, now point number three, intensity of wants differs. Okay, yes, it's true because it varies from person to person. Okay, and hence we can say that wants are subjective to nature. Okay, now for example, if you want to purchase a computer, okay, you may have a desire to purchase a computer just to play games. Okay, that's all. Okay, but you don't have that much of intensity to buy that computer. Okay, with mobile phone you can uh, enjoy your games. Okay, but there is a computer design, I mean computer, yeah, computer designer, like he works in the computer. Okay, so 3D animations and all, he has to have that computer because he works through that computer. Okay, so without computer uh, his 3D modulation will not be possible. Okay, so he has that level of intensity. Okay, so intensity of wants, it differs from person to person. For example, let me give you a very simple example. Okay, now some of you may want to have momo. Okay, but all the people, okay, living in our place, okay, living in our town, they don't want to eat momo because some of them prefer biryani, some of them prefer rice, some of them prefer chapati, some of them prefer noodles, whatever they want to eat. Okay, so all of them, they don't want to eat momo. Okay, so hence the intensity of wants, okay, it differs from person to person. Okay, now point number 4, wants are complementary. Yes, uh, this is possible in case of complementary items. Okay, uh, for example, you have a bike. Okay, now with bike you also want petrol. Okay, so now when you don't have bike, why will you want the petrol, isn't it? Just because you have bike or car, you want petrol. Okay, uh, let me give you one more example. uh, okay, just because you have a mobile phone, you want a mobile case. Okay, or this tempered glass. Okay, but if you don't have mobile phone with you, why will you want the mobile phone case? Okay, or the tempered glass, isn't it? So if you want to consume one good, okay, then if you have to take the other good also at the same time, then those goods are closely associated together. Okay, and those goods are known as complementary goods. So in case of complementary goods, wants are complementary. Okay, one uh, one good will create the want of other good. Okay, now substitutability of wants. Now the wants can be substituted also. How is that possible? Now if you want to drink coffee, okay, and the coffee is not available with you, okay, then you can drink tea, isn't it? Or you can go to other kind of beverages, okay, hot beverages. Okay, so hence we can say that the wants can be substituted. Okay, if one good is not available, then the other good is already there. Okay, and this happens in case of substitution goods. Okay, now wants are competitive. Yes, the wants are competitive. Okay, because uh, whenever we desire something, okay, so it depends upon our uh, needs. Okay, so whenever we need for something, okay, first of all we will go for the primary wants. Okay, and then after that we go for the secondary wants. Okay, for example, now you are at home. Okay, so you don't need any kind of uh, football or basketball at the same point of time. Okay, because you are not able to go outside. Okay, to play with your friends. Okay, so the game accessories at this point of time, okay, only for a time being, is not so much uh, wanted, isn't it? But with that limited source of income, we need to purchase food items, okay, masks, sanitizers, okay, at this point of time. Okay, so this is what we can say, that the wants are competitive in nature. Once they compete with each other. Okay, for example, if you have limited amount of income, okay, let's say again that same level of income, 10,000. Okay, now with that level of income, you may go only for the necessary items. Okay, food items. Okay, and then your sanitizers, masks and other items. Okay, but you don't want to spend that amount of money for the luxurious items. Okay, for watching movie. Okay, for visiting some places. Okay, so you won't be spending extra money on that part. Okay, why? Because that want is not much competitive in nature. Okay, what you want the most is the necessary items. Okay, so now point number 7, wants multiply. Now, as we already discussed in point number 1, that wants are unlimited and they keep on multiplying. Okay, it's like if you want a mobile phone and then you purchase it. Okay, after that you want a mobile phone case, then you want a tempered glass, then you want nice this headphone or earbuds. Okay, Then after that you want this power bank. Okay, so many things, isn't it? And if you ride a bike, okay, then you want a mobile holder. Okay, so many things you want. Okay, so once they keep on multiplying. Okay, now once recur, yes, they keep on recurring. Okay, they repeat. Why? For example, let me give you a very basic example. We eat food every day. Okay, so we want the food item every day, isn't it? So that consumption of food is repeating in nature, isn't it? So the wants, they repeat. Okay, now point number 9, some wants can be postponed. Okay, just now we saw that in point number 2, all wants cannot be satisfied simultaneously or at once. So the some wants can be postponed for the future. Okay, and again in point number 6 also we saw that wants are competitive in nature. So the some wants can be postponed for the future purpose. Okay, if you want to purchase on uh, any kind of game accessories, okay, or anything that you want to wear, then you can postpone that want for the future time period, because at this point of time we are staying inside the home. Okay, so we have to maintain the social distancing. Okay, so that want can be postponed for the future purpose. Okay, uh, now point number 10, wants remain ahead of availability of goods and services. Yes, so this is one of the major problem of economics, that whatever the people they want, they remain ahead of availability of goods and services. What does it mean? It means that whatever the goods and services that are available at present, okay, it will satisfy your want, but only for a time being. Okay, once you use it, okay, once you use that product or avail that service, okay, you will get bored out of it. Okay, and then you want the next item. Okay, and that next item, what you want to, okay, needs to be produced. Okay, and that production, it takes place, you know, uh, in some place. Okay, and it needs time also. Okay, some research is to be done. Okay, so the wants, they always remain ahead of availability of goods and services, because this is a very basic fact of our human nature, that we all are greedy. Okay, we want many things. So whatever the goods that are available, okay, around us, they are not suffice to satisfy our wants. Okay, now let us see this classification of human wants. Okay, now as we discussed in point number 6, okay, wants are competitive. Okay, so I said that primary want and this secondary wants. Now let us see in detail what are they. Now human wants are classified as two categories. Okay, number 1, primary wants, and number 2 is secondary wants. Now primary wants, they have two aspects. Okay, there are two types. Okay, wants for necessities and wants for maintaining efficiency. Okay, and secondary wants, they are also of two categories. Okay, number 1, wants for this comforts, and the other one is wants for luxuries. Okay, now let's discuss this primary want. Now whenever we talk about this primary want, we always have to think that these wants to be fulfilled at any cost. Okay, and in this primary want also we have two categories. Okay, that is wants for necessities and wants for maintaining efficiency. So in these two also, these this one, this particular wants for necessities should be fulfilled first, then you move on to the next one. Okay, and then this one, and then this one. So you can categorize as number 1, number 2, number 3, and then number 4. Okay, you can categorize as this. Okay, and like you can give the numbering, okay, or in the order. Now primary wants. Now primary wants, they actually are the basic or the fundamental wants of our human beings. Okay, for the very for this very existence of the life. Okay, so for our existence in the society, we want primary wants. Okay, we should fulfill our primary wants. So what are they? Number one, wants for necessities. Now wants for necessities are of three types. Okay, out of three, they are three. Okay, food, cloth, and shelter. Okay, so this is the first and the primary want that you should fulfill. Okay, now in this time of coronavirus also, okay, we will fulfill these three wants: food, cloth, and shelter. Okay, number one, without food you cannot survive. Okay, you will starve to death. Okay, so whenever we talk about food, water is already included out here. Okay, remember, because food is, sorry, water is also a part of food. Okay, our human diet. Okay, so food, first of all, we should fulfill our this want, food. Okay, and then cloth, we must wear garments. Okay, clothes. Okay, and number three, shelter, we should have a place to stay. Okay, we should have a place to feel safer. Okay, so now these are your wants for necessities. And now wants for maintaining efficiency. So what are these actually? These are actually it only uh, maintains the efficiency of lifestyle. Okay, for example, uh, let's say uh, for a sports person. Okay, now for a sports person, he needs to eat sufficient amount of food, water. I mean food. Okay, including water, and then he should take a proper uh, food diet. Okay, he should maintain that proper food habit, and then he must do the exercise also. Okay, and he must not uh, eat junk foods. Okay, so he must eat to the fullest. Okay, so he cannot sleep empty stomach. Okay, so he needs to maintain that part. Okay, otherwise that sports person will not be fit. Okay, to perform his physical activities. Okay, and okay, now for maintaining efficiency, when we're talking about, so whenever we uh, whenever we want to write something, okay, we sit on the this chair. Okay, we get this table. Okay, and then we write, isn't it, for maintaining the efficiency. Okay, now we write with pen. Okay, nowadays we have this dot pen. Okay, gel pen, so we write nicely and properly. But in previous times, what used to happen is that we used to use that ink pen. Okay, that ink pen was not so much good as compared to the latest uh, dot pens, roller pens, and the gel pens. Okay, so this is only for the maintenance of your efficiency. Okay, now the secondary wants. Now secondary wants, they come, as the name it suggests, secondary wants. Okay, once the primary wants are fulfilled, both these wants. Okay, remember, wants for necessities as well as wants for maintaining efficiency. Okay, once these two are uh, satisfied or achieved, then you can move on to the next one, that is your secondary wants. And the secondary wants, we want this wants for comforts and wants for luxuries. Now wants for comforts, for example, now it's summertime. Okay, so in order to live in your room, okay, comfortably, we need AC, we need a fan. Okay, so it gives us comfort. Okay, and during the winter season we use the heater, isn't it? It's only adds your comfort, isn't it? So that's why we say that it's the secondary want. Okay, and let's say that if you're hungry, okay, you have not taken any food since last 2 days. okay, but you want a heater. Is this possible? No, it's not possible. First of all, you should fulfill your primary want, then only you can move on to the secondary wants. Okay, that's your comforts. Okay, which will add comfort to your lifestyle. Okay, and ultimately this luxuries. Okay, uh, in luxuries you can say this jewelry items. Okay, uh, and then expensive cars. Okay, expensive bikes. Okay, and other branded uh, clothes, etc. Okay, only for the show off. Okay, so wants for luxuries are actually for the show off. Okay, now classification of goods and services. Okay, so as we are discussing this goods and services, so what are these actually? What are these goods and services? Okay, let me just tell you that what are goods and services. Okay, so goods are the physical items of trade. Okay, goods are the tangible items. Okay, whenever I say tangible, it means that it is physical in nature. Okay, so goods are physical items of trade which we can touch, okay, which we can feel, okay, which we can see, and it occupies space, okay, and it has some weight. Okay, so what are goods? Now goods are those items, okay, which occupy space, has weight, okay, and which we can see and which we can touch and feel. Okay, so that's your goods. Okay, now services. Now services are the non-physical items but still satisfy your want. Okay, for example, this teaching. Okay, you want the class. Okay, you must be wondering that when sir will continue the economics class. So here I have come today. Okay, so I'm providing you the service. For example, if you want some kind of entertainment, okay, even now you will listen to some kind of music. Okay, and remember that music will satisfy your that want. Okay, it will satisfy your desire. Okay, listening to the particular music or by watching some uh, movie. Okay, so they are actually the services, isn't it? So this doctors, lawyers, teachers, engineers, okay, policemen, okay, they all provide the services, but they don't sell anything. Okay, but goods. Now goods are sold by the merchants, okay, vendors or traders. Okay, the physically they sell something. Okay, if you want to purchase a copy, you go to a shop and then you will get copy. Okay, if you want the pen, then you will visit the shop again and then you will buy it. Okay, if you want to eat something, then you go to a shop, you get that item. Okay, but if you want to have the service, okay, how will you purchase that service? How will you keep it? How can you store it? No, you cannot store the services. Okay, I hope this difference between goods and services is clear. Okay, now let's move on to this economic and non-economic goods. Okay, now economic goods are those goods which are available in the market, which you have been seeing from the last, sorry, not from the last, but since you uh, have the memory. Okay, whatever you are eating, whatever you are wearing, whatever you see around, okay, they are economic goods. Okay, for example, uh, what you eat. Okay, that's chewing gums. Okay, chocolates. Okay, food items, clothes, that this mobile phone. Okay, and then copy, books. Okay, whatever the decorative items that you have in your house or the furnitures, including the bricks that were used to make that house. Okay, it's economic goods. Okay, and non-economic goods. Oh, sorry, yes, one more point. For economic goods, okay, in order to purchase this economic goods, you should pay some amount of price. Without paying price, you cannot purchase that economic good. Okay, now non-economic goods are those goods which do not possess any kind of money value, okay, but are freely available in the nature. Okay, for example, this sunshine. Okay, this water which is present in the river, okay, not in the bottle. Okay, now that air also. Okay, so these are your non-economic goods. uh, has anyone taken tax, or has anyone asked you money for taking the sunshine? Okay, no, no one has, isn't it? You go to a river, okay, you enjoy out there, okay, you drink water. Maybe it's hygienic or not, okay, you don't worry. Let's assume that, okay, you wash clothes, you take bath, you swim, you drink water, okay, you will enjoy out there in that river. But nobody will come and ask you the money, isn't it? Because it's freely available in the nature. And now you are breathing, okay? So for breathing also, we don't want to pay. Sorry, we don't have to pay, okay? But there is a new concept in the market that is called the commoditification. By commoditification, we mean that whatever these non-economic goods are available in the market, they need to be converted into economic goods, okay, by making them a commodity, okay. For example, water. Water is a free gift of nature, isn't it? But if you this put it in a bottle and sell it in the market for some amount of money, then it will be commoditified. Okay, that water will be commoditified. Okay, and air is also free gift of nature, isn't it? But you must have been hearing in the news channels that oxygen is not available. There is oxygen crisis. So that oxygen cylinders are available in the market, okay, and in the hospital. So that oxygen cylinder is not for free of cost, okay. So that is the commoditification of free gift of nature. And that sunshine actually is converted into the solar energy, okay, and using that solar energy also you have to pay some amount of money, okay, to convert that solar energy. You need this solar panel, okay. So for the technology that is used, okay, you have to pay some amount of money. So this is actually the commoditification, okay. Anyway, that was out of the topic. So I think this difference between economic and non-economic goods are clear, okay. Okay, now material and non-material goods. Okay, so material goods are those goods which you can, as I already said, that you can uh, see, touch, occupies a space, has some weight, okay, that's called the material goods, okay. Whatever the clothes that you are wearing, whatever the food you eat, they all are material goods, okay. But the non-material items, services, non-material goods are actually the services because they are non-material, okay. They do not possess any physical uh, form, okay. That's why they are called services, okay. And always remember that in this economic and non-economic, okay, it only comprises of goods, okay. Material are goods, non-material are services, okay. Intermediate and final, again, they are only goods, okay, no service, okay. Consumer and producer, they may include both goods and services, but let's just assume, okay, out here in all these economic and non-economic, material and non-material, intermediate and final, consumer and producer, single use and durable, okay. I don't want you to confuse you now, okay. Just assume that whatever is given in these boxes out here, just think for a time being that services are only your non-material goods, okay, non-material items, but remaining others, they all are goods, okay. Now let's come to this part, intermediate and final goods. Now intermediate goods are those goods which hasn't crossed the production line, okay, which are yet to be produced, okay. For example, uh, let me give you the example of momo only. Now you want to have momo, okay, and your mother is cooking momo, okay, she is stuffing that dumpling, okay, now she's about to uh, boil it, okay, okay, now but before that, okay, in the meantime, you felt hungry, okay, now you want to eat that product, so do you think that momo is cooked properly or not? No, it's not cooked properly, isn't it? So that's actually the intermediate good, okay, because it hasn't finished the production, sorry, this production process yet, okay, it hasn't crossed the production line. That is known as the intermediate goods, okay. For example, uh, you can check the YouTube videos, okay, how to the manufacturing of this mobile phones, cars, okay, bikes, okay, you can check the videos. So if in a factory, if the mobile phone is being produced or manufactured, okay, and they have just put this screen, okay, and this camera, okay, but not the other items, okay, what are these chips, whatever they are used out here, okay, in this mobile phone, I don't know. So they are just assembling it, okay, and you want to use that mobile phone now only. So just give me that phone, I want to call my friend. You cannot use that mobile phone. Why? Because that mobile phone is not ready, okay, it's still needs to be produced, isn't it? So we can say that it is an intermediate good, okay. Now final goods, now final goods are those goods which are ready for consumption, okay, which are ready to be consumed, okay. Now if that momo is finally cooked and if it is ready, if it is ready to be eaten, then we can say that it's final goods, okay. Now consumer goods and producer goods. So consumer goods, uh, as I already said, that in this economic goods also, that whatever we have been seeing uh, since we have the memory, okay, uh, that's your consumer goods, okay, whatever you purchase, okay, rice, pulses, vegetables, meat, this clothes, okay, milk, sugar, tea, etc., whatever, they all are known as consumer goods, okay. But what are these producer goods? Producer goods are those goods which are purchased by the producers or the sellers for the process of production, okay. And always remember that some goods are consumer goods as well as producer goods, but some goods are only consumer goods and some goods are only producer goods. How is that possible now? Okay, let me give you an example of a flour, okay, atta or maida, whatever you call it, okay. So that is both consumer goods as well as producer goods because it is purchased by consumers as well as producers. Consumers, okay, we understand because to make roti and all we purchase it. But why the producers they purchase it? To make biscuits, to make that noodles, that what's that called? YY or Maggie, whatever it's available in market. Okay, just to make that product. Okay, they uh, use it. Okay, so that's called the um, sorry, that's your consumer goods as well as producer goods. Okay, but like this toothpaste, okay, this Maggie or YY, whatever you are purchasing, it's only for the final consumption. Okay, it's not for more production process. Okay, then it's only remaining your consumer goods. Okay, and now producer goods. Now producer goods, which are only producer goods, which cannot be consumed by consumers, are big plant and machineries. Okay, if they are purchasing the raw materials for other type of industries. Okay, like iron ore industries, Okay, if they are using any kind of chemicals to make that product, whatever the uh, food that you eat nowadays, which are packed, okay, which are filled with air mostly, they use actually some kind of chemicals, okay, just to preserve the food items. So that preservative we do not use in our house. Okay, that is only used by the producers. Okay, so that they can preserve the food items for next 6 months or 1 year. Okay, so that preservative are only used by producers. Okay, so always remember that consumer goods are those goods which are used by consumers, that is us. Okay, and producer goods are those goods which are used by the producers for the production process. Okay, now single use goods and durable goods. Now single use goods are those goods which are which can be used only for one time. Okay, and it's like, I mean, the examples which are given here, like milk, bread, uh, rice, okay, pulses, they can be used only for one time. For example, if you purchase milk, okay, 1 liter of milk, okay, and let's say that some amount of milk you use it for making tea. Okay, now you consume that tea. Now, can you use that same milk which you had already used for making tea to make coffee? Is it possible? Can you extract milk out of tea and make coffee? No, it's not possible. Once you use that product, once it is used, it is used. Okay, that's why it's called single use. Now, that bread, piece of bread, okay. Now, that piece of bread you have already eaten, okay, and now can you take it out and re-eat? No, it's not possible, isn't it? So that's why we say that it's a single use goods. Okay, now durable goods. Now durable goods are those goods which can be used again and again, like furnitures, clothes, mobile phones. Okay, so single use goods are only single use, only one time, but durable goods which can be used many times. Now I gave you the example of that milk. Okay, now for the preparation of tea or coffee, we need milk, and we know that milk is a single use product. But that utensil, okay, that utensil is a durable item. You can use the same utensil for making tea, coffee, or any kind of food items, or maybe some amount of soup or anything, okay, depending upon the size of the utensil which you are using. Okay, that utensil, it can be used for multiple times, okay, for many days. That's known as the durable goods. Okay, now before I move on to this topic called this consumption, I want to go to the topic that's called utility. Okay, now what is utility? By utility we mean the one satisfying power of a commodity. Okay, so if any kind of good has the one satisfying power, then that is known as the utility. For example, if you're thirsty, okay, then you should drink water, water only. Okay, but if you are thirsty and you eat chips, okay, you eat chocolates, okay, you eat other items, okay, which will intensify your thirst, isn't it? So that's uh, not called the utility. Okay, but the utility is something which can satisfy your want. Okay, so utility is the one satisfying power of a commodity. Now you may tell me that whatever the example that I gave you just now, that chips and this water, okay, now both chips and water, they have utility. Okay, but it depends upon the consumer, okay, when to devour that commodity, when to consume that commodity, when to use that sorry, uh, commodity, okay, when to eat that item or drink. Okay, so it depends upon the need. Okay, so always remember that utility is the one satisfying power of a commodity. Okay, now features of utility. Now features, let me just go in brief. Okay, utility is subjective because utility, it varies from person to person. Okay, now let's say alumimi. Okay, now some of you may want to eat alumimi. Okay, just because you like it, just because you like it. Okay, now some of you may eat alumimi just because you don't have any other option. Okay, and some of your friends, they may not like it. Okay, so hence we can say that the utility of alumimi is subjective from person to person, as we saw already that wants, okay, intensity of wants, it differs. Similarly here, the utility is subjective, it varies from person to person. Okay, by consuming the same commodity, okay, you may get the satisfaction, excuse me, you may get 100% satisfaction, and by eating the same commodity or consuming the same commodity, the other person may not be satisfied. For example, chicken, let's just take the example of chicken. Okay, if there are two persons, okay, one is vegetarian, okay, and the other one is non-vegetarian. Okay, now that chicken, okay, it will give the utility, maximum utility to the non-vegetarian person, but that same piece of chicken will not give any amount of utility to the person who is non-vegetarian, sorry, who is vegetarian. Okay, because he doesn't eat any meat items. Okay, so for that vegetarian person, that utility of chicken is useless, isn't it? So it varies from person to person, so utility is subjective. Okay, now utility is not measurable. Yes, it is true, because we cannot measure the amount of satisfaction that we get by consuming any kind of commodity. Okay, so by eating some food items, okay, we cannot say that I am uh, satisfied 95%, I'm satisfied 87%. Okay, I got 78% of utility. Okay, so we cannot measure that utility. Okay, so utility is only a psychological effect. Okay, it's only about the satisfaction. Okay, whether we are being satisfied or not. Okay, now utility is different from usefulness. Yes, it should be remembered that utility is different from usefulness. Okay, by usefulness we mean the well-being of the society. Okay, now this uh, the clash between this Palestine and Israel is going on. You can see that. Okay, so many thousands and thousands of bombs and the missiles have been used. Okay, till now. So that missile or whatever that weapons they have, okay, they have the utility. Okay, what utility they have? They have the utility to destroy. Okay, they want to kill the person and they use it. Okay, they hit the target, they complete the job. Okay, so that's the utility they have. Okay, but usefulness, whether that bomb or the missile that they are using is useful to the society, whether it is providing welfare, whether it talks about the well-being of the society. Okay, do you think so? No, it doesn't have any kind of usefulness. Okay, that making of bombs, arms and ammunition, etc. is not good for the society. Okay, so that utility is always different from usefulness. Always remember this. Okay, now utility is relative. Yes, utility, it is relative. Okay, now it depends upon the level of desire. Okay, that you want. For example, let me give you an example. Now, your mother may cook nice food item, okay, for you, okay, the normal food items, okay, rice, dal, vegetables, okay, and some roti or chapati, whatever you call it, okay, but you may not feel like eating, okay, but you may prefer to eat that junk food, okay, that noodles and etc. Okay, but if you stay in hostel, then you will start missing the food item that your mother used to cook for you, okay, and you have come back home after, let's say, 7 months, then the utility will be very, very high, okay. uh, if your mother cooks only plain uh, this dal, rice and vegetable, you will eat it with full amount of satisfaction. Why? Because you were longing for that food item, okay, so it depends upon your need also, okay, that intensity, how much you want that product, okay. So utility is relative to nature, okay. So for example, if you are very, very thirsty, okay, then that amount of water that what you drink will give you more amount of satisfaction, okay. But if you are not thirsty, okay, but you are just drinking the water, then that water will not give you high level of satisfaction, okay. And number 5, utility, it has got no moral or legal connotations, okay. I mustn't not be using this example, but I have to use this example to tell you this. There is a black market for selling of this guns and ammunitions in every part of country, okay, all about the world, which is not good, okay. But what to do? They want to purchase this kind of items, so uh, that's illegal, isn't it? But still, they purchase, okay, and they get satisfied, okay, and they do not have any kind of uh, moral liability, okay, whether it's good or not, whether it will be harmful for the society or not, okay, whether this purchase of guns is illegal or not, they don't worry about it. They just want to get that utility out of it, okay. So utility is beyond moral and legal connotations, okay, moral or legal boundaries, you can say, okay. Now ultimately, let's go to this consumption, okay. Now we discussed about the utility, okay. What is utility? Utility is the want satisfying power of a commodity, okay, that want satisfying power, okay, which can satisfy your want, okay. If you are thirsty, okay, then you drink water, and then your thirst will be over, okay, you will get satisfied, isn't it? So that satisfaction what you are getting by consuming that particular commodity, just because that particular commodity possesses some kind of property, okay, that's known as the utility. Now consumption. Now what is consumption? Let me just tell you in simple language that consumption is an economic activity of derivation of utility out of goods and services. That's it. You may not see this kind of definition in your book, by the way. Uh, just copy it down, okay? Copy it down somewhere else with pencil or whatever. You can make your own definition, by the way, okay? As per your level of understanding. Okay? If you're writing your own definitions, please refer to me. Anyway, let's continue. So consumption is an activity, economic activity, by the way, which involves the derivation of utility out of goods and services. Okay, by consumption we mean that you will use that product. Okay, now see, when I um put the term use or use the term use, okay, it's not uh, appropriate all the time, because we cannot say that uh, we use the food item. How do we use the food item? We actually eat the food items, isn't it? We wear clothes, isn't it? we wear clothes, we eat food items, we use mobile phones. So for different kinds of goods and services, we have different kinds of words. Okay, so we will stick to this part that it's a process, an economic activity in which we will derive, in which we will extract, in which we will take out the utility out of the goods and services. Okay, we take out utility out of food items, we take out utility out of garments, we take out utility out of this mobile phone or whatever it's available. Okay, so consumption is an economic activity. Always remember. Now, for the consumption, we need goods and services. Okay, so how that goods and services will be available in the market? Only through the process of production. Okay, so now by this production, again, we mean it's an economic activity, okay, which involves conversion of raw materials into finished goods and providing services. That's it. Okay, so production is an economic activity which involves the conversion of raw materials into finished goods and providing services. That's it. Okay. By economic activity, we mean those activities uh, which are involved in the economic terms, okay, which are carried out just to get the money. That's called economic activity. Okay, if you are doing anything, that's called economic activity. Okay, if you are working in somewhere, economic activity, just to get the money. Okay, but if your mother, if she is cooking food for you, then you will not pay her the salary, but she will cook food for you out of love and compassion, isn't it? So that's not called economic activity. Always remember that. That's called non-economic activity, in which the money is not used. But if the same person, if your mother, if she is cooking at a restaurant, okay, then she will be paid salary, isn't it? So then that will be known as the economic activity. So doing the same activity but with different mindset, okay, for the different purposes will define which activity, okay, whether it's economic activity or non-economic activity, okay, the motive behind doing the work, okay. So let me tell you one more time that production is an economic activity, okay, in which the raw materials will be converted into finished goods, okay, and it provides the services, okay. But for this production also, we need some things. And what are these? The elements that are used in the process of production are known as factors of production. Okay, four factors of productions are there. Okay, so, and what are they? They are land, labor, capital, and organization. And remember that they are also known as inputs. Okay, now these factors or whatever the elements, whatever you say, okay, they need to be together. Okay, they need to be together all the time. Okay, even if one is missing of sorry from this set, then your production process will not be complete. Okay, if land is missing, if labor is missing, if capital is missing, if organization is missing, then production process will not be completed. Right? You cannot even start the production process after. Okay, so there should be four factors of production, okay, together combined, then you can start the process of production. Okay, so that's the end of this video. So if you have any kind of queries, feel free to ask. Okay, thank you.